Adobe InDesign has many different ways to navigate a document. The first way would be the Zoom tool. Simply hitting the letter Z for Zoom on your keyboard will jump you there. And with the Zoom tool, I can click once on an individual spot to zoom in. You'll also notice the zoom level up here in the application bar. I could simply click that arrow and choose 300%. You'll notice you could zoom all the way to 4,000% or as small as 5%. 5 would be super tiny in this case. And if you go to your View menu, you could choose Fit Page in Window for single-page documents. Or this document is a spread, 2 facing pages. So I could choose Fit Spread in Window to see both. This is an 11-inch page, wide, cut in half, so we've got something that can fold. To zoom in, I was clicking once. If I'd like to zoom out, there's a couple different ways to do that. You could hold down Option or Alt, and when I do that, you'll notice the magnifying glass tool changes to a minus. So holding down Option or Alt and clicking zooms out. Or you could choose View Zoom Out or View Zoom In. You'll also notice there are shortcuts. I love shortcuts, so I'm more likely to hit Command plus on the Mac a few times to zoom in, or Command minus a few times to zoom out. On Windows, Control plus a few times to zoom in, Control minus a few times to zoom out. And I can use Command 0 or Control 0 to fit page in window. That works in Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Acrobat. I actually even programmed that to work in Flash by assigning a keyboard shortcut through its keyboard shortcut feature. But let's choose View Fit Spread in Window, and if you're curious about this symbol, on the Mac that would be Option Command 0, or on the PC Control Alt 0. So I can use that instead. Sometimes to learn shortcuts, I'll go look at what they are and hit them. That way I start to commit them to memory. But feel free to use your magnifying glass tool. Feel free to use the zoom level menu up here, or feel free to use View, Zoom In, and Zoom Out. One last way to zoom. With your magnifying glass tool, if I want to see the graphic better next to Noe Valley, I can click and drag surrounding the object, starting at the upper left corner. And when I let go, I've zoomed exactly there. To zoom in closer just to the graphic, again I'll start at the upper left corner and click and drag, and this is called a marquee zoom. I'm marqueeing or surrounding the area I'd like to zoom in on, and InDesign zooms exactly there. I could even see that I'm at 1600%. I'll go back to View, Fit Spread in Window, and a few other important navigation tips. I'm going to go back to my selection tool, which is the primary tool I stay on for moving objects around or navigating my document. And I'll click once on the Word Pages to expand the Pages panel. I'll stretch the Pages panel so I could see all 7 pages in this document. In fact, the cover has a letter numbering system. B and C for the back side and the front side of the folding cover. If I double-click on D, a double-click will switch me to this second spread, which this is a D page, but since we're printing an actual number on the pages, they started the real page 1 where you'd flip open inside this folding book at number 1. And this little triangle is the indicator that a section start has happened or custom numbering has happened. So as I look at this book, I can double-click on a page, left or right, to go to that page, or double-click directly on the number to bring the spread into view. That's similar to Fit Spread in Window under your View menu. If I click the word Pages, I can collapse that again, and there are about 3 ways to do everything in all computer programs. In Adobe programs, there may be 5 or 10 ways to do the same thing. So Pages is one way to navigate your document. The other way is to look down at the bottom left, and down here I'll see Next Spread. In fact, I'll reduce my application frame size so you could see that better. And a note for the Mac users, I've already turned this on, but under the Window menu is Application Frame. If that's off, you could see the blue of my desktop behind InDesign. And if I click on the blue of that desktop, I'm back at my operating system or the Finder. If I click back on InDesign, I could choose Window Application Frame, and now I've got my desktop mostly hidden, and the whole program sizes as one window, more like it does on the Windows platform, which I prefer for hands-on classes. But if I move over this arrow, Next Spread jumps me to the next pages, and then on the left side I have Previous Spread. At the far left I have First Spread. Go to the first page in the document. And at the far right I have Last Spread. If you're doing a document with single pages, this will say first page or last page. But when doing a document with facing pages, you'll see the word spread where page would be. I can also click and choose a page number to go to. So I'll choose B, which is my cover. And I could highlight the letter there by clicking and dragging or double-clicking on the letter and typing the number 4 and hitting Return or Enter. And that jumps me to pages 4 and 5. Finally, since I love shortcuts, I always remember Jump to Page. Command J or Control J brings up the Go to Page dialog. But if you remember Jump, this is a quick way to get back to my cover, which is letter B. The reason this is B is because even numbers always start a left page and odd numbers always start a right page. Single-page documents would always start on 1. But to do this spread, I did B and C, which if you imagine would be 2 and 3, so I could have a left page and a right page. It's a common practice when dealing with spreads if you don't want the back of the book all the way as the last page in your document. So here you've seen a few ways to zoom in with the Zoom tool or the View menu, or using Command plus or Control plus on Windows to zoom in, Command minus or Control minus to zoom out. You've also seen how to fit spread in window or fit page in window, how to navigate with the Pages panel by double-clicking a page or double-clicking the numbers to fit the spread in window, and how to navigate at the lower left corner to go to Next Spread or Next Page on single-page documents, or First Page or First Spread, and Last Page or Last Spread. Finally, your Page Up and Page Down keys will work, but they may split the screen. So a little power user trick to keep the spread centered as you hit Page Up or Page Down, if you have a Page Up or Page Down key on an extended keyboard, a full keyboard with a numeric keypad, a trick to keep the spread centered is hold down your Option or Alt keys as you hit Page Up or Page Down. So now I hit Alt Page Down or Option Page Down, Alt Page Up or Option Page Up. Keeps your spread centered if you'd like to use those keys. Take some time on this document to practice with the magnifying glass tool, your View menu, your Pages panel, or navigating pages down here in the lower left.